there we go. Okay, boys, lads. I think I'm going to be trying to do more of these album reactions. Not only was the Megadeth one honestly like pretty fun, but this is a good way for me to keep track of metal being released now, because honestly, otherwise probably wouldn't listen to a lot of it, to be completely honest with you guys. And then, you know, the editor make a video about this on the second channel. Yeah, I think it'll be good. We'll be doing Mayhem right now. I'm not really sure what other cool releases are coming up, so if you guys know of any other cool releases, let me know, and we will definitely be checking those out as time goes on. This is probably the second best Mayhem album. Not that that's saying much. Second best after Chimera or what? This is a good way if you make content while you make content, so you can make content while you make content. Contentception, bro. Contentception. Listen, that's how it works, man. Either you're the sloppy or the slop-er. It also lures people to watch the stream. Yeah, exactly, Tarek. Yeah. I'm not forgetting the 150 people we had for the Megadeth one, right? After D Mysterious, Don Samanthus. Don Satanis. I don't know why I keep saying Samanthus. That's one of those ones. You learn it when you're like a kid, and then it just fucks you up for saying it the rest of your life. I really like Death Crush for them. Probably my favorite thing they ever did. So the first thing they did literally almost 40 years ago. Isn't that funny the way that happens? When will Euronymous come back? He ain't coming back, buddy. Euronymous is begging for mercy at the gates of hell. For me, the best Mayhem album, again, oh yeah, I said, yeah. I thought Chimera was a great album too. Mayhem's one of those bands that I have listened to quite a bit. I'm not sure if I'm like infamous for being a black metal hater or anything like that, but I'm definitely not a big black metal enjoyer, but I did go through a phase back when I was a teenager, and black metal was sort of like this kind of like scary, nebulous, esoteric and dangerous kind of subgenre of music, you know what I mean? So you kind of dove right in. Quick acting like you didn't bang your head to In the Shadow of the Horns. Dude, I don't even... What song is that? Oh yeah, My Death, bro. That's a sick song. Chimera itself is a sick song. Core is a good song. Black Braid's pretty good. I've listened to Black Braid, pretty good too. I also generally hate black metal, but I listened to Immortal Sons of Northern Darkness again last night, and damn, it does slap. Immortal for me has been one of those bands that has sort of like transcended the black metal phase. Yeah, like Sons of Northern Darkness is really good. Beast in Black, of course, like At the Heart of Winter, and then the album before that, I think Mountains of Might or something like that, or the song Mountains of Might. Immortal's just bass as hell, that's all I can say. Yeah, really enjoyed Mayhem back in the day. D Mysterious, Don Satanis, I love the drum sound in that. The first Burzum records, I thought it was actually pretty good. Even like Bellis and Fallen, I enjoyed when that came out. You know, I'm just like a huge black metal normie, right? You know, just like second wave Norwegian bands. That's it, you know what I mean? Silencer, you know, of course, can't forget about the Silencer. In the Shadow of the Horns, Dark Throne. I never got into Dark Throne, man. It was just sounded like too shitty. Although, like, I do respect the riffs, but I just never got into Dark Throne, to be honest. All Shall Fall is incredible too. Yeah, something about anything that Abbath does, he's just great. Or is that the Immortal album that's not with Abbath? It's confusing. Black metal has always been a time and a place. You may not dig it here, but as a cold, dark drive home, suddenly summoning slaps is kind of like that. True. Bro upgraded the camera setup. No, this is the same camera I've had for a while, just different angle. A little bit closer, a little bit more to the front of me. Like before, I sort of had it like off, kind of like that way directly. When I had the camera like that, you could always see my weak chin, so I had to change it to be a little bit more forward so you can't tell. Will Varg Vikernes come back? I wish you'd honestly post on YouTube again. His channel was kind of low-key comfy. Dark Throne is my favorite Norwegian black metal band. I know a lot of people love Dark Throne. They've always just filtered me, to be honest. I've always just been completely filtered by them. The movement is looking zesty. Bro, I don't want to be zesty, bro. Unless it's zesty cheese Doritos, which is what they call the orange bag of Doritos here in Canada. I forget what that's called in the States. Okay, boys, we got a nice rain. Gonna crack it, and we'll crack on with Mayhem, Liturgy of Death, their new album coming out. Haven't heard anything from this. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. All you boys watching, this will be edited and posted on my second channel, Varvis Dark, the Sloppage channel. So make sure you go check that out here, boys. Varg posted an interview with his kids literally this week. I'm not sure if I want to watch a video with Varg's children. That seems weird. I don't know. Anything involving like someone's kids is just weird. You know what I mean? Just keep it. Do you like System of a Down? I do. Big fan of Hypnotize and Mesmerize. Those are my favorite things that System of a Down has ever done. Even more so than Toxicity. We need a drunk Varvis video. It'd be funny as hell. I don't drink, buddy. You'll never see it. You'll never catch me drinking the fermented wheat slop again, buddy. We need a System of a Down song by song tier list. That could be done. Down. System of a Down is a nice short enough catalog. To be honest though, I feel like it would just piss a lot of people off as I don't really like their first album or steal this album all that much, to be honest. How about Weed Varvis? I don't do it until the end of the day, bro. Until all my work's done. I gotta earn it. Otherwise it becomes too dangerous. For you, Mesmerize, Hypnotize over Toxicity. Give me a hug, bro. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Those two albums are just so good. I just love them. You know, grew up with them. Came out right when I was first getting into metal. But let me shut the hell up and let's get into this here, lads. Let's get into this. All right, let's go, boys. I'm excited. I'm actually low-key excited for this. Let's check it out. What's up, Metal Monologues? Got a nice Pink Lady apple, the goat apple variety. Gringo equals American from the USA, you know, the ones with the weird measuring system. Doesn't gringo mean like foreigner in Spanish? Never pull up lyrics for black metal on a first listen. That's my tip. Right off the rip, nice intro, nice ambience. Looking at the album cover here, sort of looks like we're looking at some sort of like alchemical type of stuff. Looks like we've got a peacock feather, obviously like a decomposing skull, an hourglass, a crucified frog, a half-burnt candle, some notes, seashell, all in front of a mirror. Kind of low-key, it looks like Warhammer 40k art, to be honest. Gringo is Yankee, at least the correct definition. Fucking Yankees. That's my favorite term, bro. Yankee. Canada's the worst, man, because we use all the imperial measurements as well as metric. If you ask any Canadian their height and weight, they're going to tell you it in feet and pounds. It's pretty crazy. Woo! Goddamn, that's a good apple. Is this Attila on vocals? Actually, you should probably just say. It is Attila, damn, okay. First thoughts here. Kind of messy and sludgy sounding. You know, Chimera was very, very sharp and piercing. De Mysterious Dawn Satanis, very, very, yeah, like sharp, sort of like thunder, stormy, kind of like feel vibe to it. This here is very, or at least right off the bat, very, very, almost like a little bit, almost like sludgy in a way. Cool vocals from Attila. I always liked Attila's vocals. I think he's just like a very, very unique vocalist in the way he approaches stuff. Yeah, cool so far. Let's keep going. In the land of Tim Hortons and maple syrup. I haven't eaten at Tim Hortons in probably like 10 years. Fuck that place. But I'm doing well. We've had like +degree temperatures all week. I think it was warmer here by like 10 degrees than it was in Cuba the other day, which is nuts for February. Burning Crusade edition. Oh, hell yeah. So they're saying some Latin. Interesting kind of chords going on here. When you think liturgy, what is the liturgy, right? It's the predefined set of rituals, incantations, and songs, psalms, and prayers, I guess, right? You use in like a Christian church service, right? So liturgy of death, you know. They had to make it a little bit black metal, right? So it's interesting that they're having some sort of more, I don't want to say like Gregorian monk chants or anything like that, but this sort of priest-like Latin-esque chants going on here. It's kind of cool, kind of cool. Those big chords are sick. I know this is like the first song here, but when are we going to get to the riffs? Just a whole bunch of kind of noise going on so far. Attila's vocals still sound great. Yo, what's up, Gorthal? All right. Right off the bat, I would probably never listen to that song again, but it is setting the mood pretty nicely for the rest of this album. Kind of messy in a very intentional way, right? A lot of reverberating sounds going around, cool vocals. I love those big, like theatrical, huge minor chord stabs. Mayhem uses that all the time, and I love those. Oh, just so sick. Sounds so good. But big question here. Where are the riffs? I'm waiting for some riffs. Not gonna lie though, that song's probably like a 5 out of 10 for me. A lot of things I don't like about black metal going on in there, like constant sort of crazy endless bass or double kick drums and blast beats over top of just sort of like these meandering kind of riffs. A lot of stuff that I don't really like in black metal going on there, but I do kind of see where they're going.
That's one fine looking barbecue pit. Why doesn't mine look like that?
Up next, we have Despair. And I think this one must have been a single, because it has a little bit of a different album art here. Despair, very typical black metal song. So let's see some comments here. The true black metal will never die, bro. Come on, bro. Who are these people? This album cover is like way better than the other one. They should have just used this one. All right, all right. A lot of trench coats in the comments. True. Black metal probably forgotten like 80 years. I feel like just because of all the controversy around it, it might not be. You got it, Gorthal. I know a lot of people don't like Attila's, I don't know what you would call it, like frog opera vocals. It literally just like the last line, he does it all the time on D Mysterious as well. I think it's really, really cool and really unique, and I really, really like that vocal style. Way better than like the typical black metal screech. Okay, so far, it's been about 2 minutes of constant blast beats. I would really like something else. This kind of music just doesn't click with me. Yeah, true. I want more riffs. I want more riffs. Okay, nice tempo change. All right. Okay. So true, Jeff. Maniac was good too. I do like his vocals. But I just like how unique Attila is. No enjoyable riffs, no cool synths. It's just kind of boring to me. I kind of agree so far. I know a lot of people love like constant blast beats, and they say it kind of like puts you into this trance like state, and you kind of find your groove to nod your head along like in the guitars themselves, right? But this, there's no real kind of groove. It's just like a wall of sort of like flat dynamics with this sort of like croaking reverbing going on underneath. I promise I'm trying to love it. From the, this is just aggression nonstop. Yeah, exactly, Gorthal. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Finally. Might be regretting this album choice, low key. Another like 30 minutes of music. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, true. Yeah, it really kind of, yeah, the pausing destroys the momentum. This is the type of like black metal that I just really don't really like personally. Like this is basically essentially 7 minutes kind of straight up blast beats with like one kind of 30-minute break in the middle. Interesting, kind of some cool riffs, but if you're going to be doing this, I feel like the vocals need to be very sort of like front and center and like a focus of it. Otherwise, just sort of all like a mess. Almost sort of like if you're painting with watercolor and all the colors are just bleeding into each other and you can't really form like a coherent picture of what's been trying to say. Although maybe that is their point, right? They're trying to make it sound this way. They're trying to make it sound abrasive and hard to listen to, at least for like a black metal normie like myself. You know what I mean? That's like another 5 out of 10 for me. This week would have been good metal for the no black metal thumbnail. True. I'll put that on after. I get the sort of monotony can be off-putting, but do you dislike the production? I actually think the production actually sounds pretty good, to be honest. Besides all the sort of reverberating reverb on the vocals, I like the drum sound. I like that the guitars are pretty clear. It's not lo-fi. I'm just looking for like a little bit more space here, you know, a little bit more space to breathe. All right, boys, let's go. Let's keep moving on. We got Weep for Nothing, the third track here. Hey, okay, there's some riffs. All right. That's a cool riff. That's a sick riff. First minute, we got some nice riffage here, a nice little verse of vocals. We got some potential here. All right. I like how he enunciates some of the lyrics, then gives up halfway through word on others. Again, I really like Attila's like weird, very esoteric vocal style, and I enjoy listening to him think of many different ways to perform black metal vocals. These riffs be riffing though this time. I am covered in raw produce. What the hell? Cool drumming here too. Really cool in these sort of slower sections, this little bit of a slower tempo compared to the other songs. Is this Hellhammer drumming again? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So they just put his real name. He does some really cool and interesting stuff on like some of the ride cymbals and like splashes and stuff, like in between some of the more rolling tremolo picking riffs, which I really think is needed in a lot of songs like that when the guitars are sort of just tremolo picking. You know, maybe this not the most complex patterns, maybe it's just like big chords. The drummer can really do some interesting stuff and add like extra rhythms sort of like on top of things, and I think Hellhammer's really good at that. I really try to like black metal, but the lack of rhythm makes it impossible to me, but I respect those who like it. Surely there's something there that I can't see. Bro, that's why I like Chimera, man. A lot of good grooves in this album here too. Yo, Pavarotti feature? Yo. Dude, that's Phil. Sick. This sending guitar melody is fun. Yeah, it's a really cool and interesting, unique riff. I like this riff a lot. Oh, yeah, bro. Now they're going crazy with the riffs. Excellent riffs so far. Really evil, unsettling, but kind of like weirdly melodic and coherent riffs so far in this song. Really liking this song, honestly. Big time. Well, the sun is gone. Dude, those huge like minor chord. They're just like so theatrical and huge like Phantom of the Opera vibes there. So I love that shit. All right. I thought that song was sick, man. Really cool, interesting song. Really very dark and intricate kind of riffing there. Nice grooves going on. Really fantastic drumming that whole time. Wasn't all just blasting away, although a little bit, you know, they blasted a little bit. They blasted an acceptable amount that made the blast beat sections feel much more intense, right? If you're just blasting away the whole song, like I said this many times, guys, like if everything is heavy and fast, then nothing is heavy and fast. It's the contrast that really makes things hit hard, right? Without the peaks, there are no valleys. Without the valleys, there are no peaks, right? It's all together. And I thought this song is a really nice balance of it. Nice vocals by Attila. Again, I like when he pulls out the somewhat operatic vocals, and I feel like his operatic vocals sound great here too. He legit almost sounds like a real opera singer here. I'm gonna give this one 8 out of 10, boys. 8 out of 10.
What's up, everybody in the house tonight? What's up?
Phantom of the Opera is very black metal. Oh, absolutely it is. Bro, that's a fucking black metal riff right there. Okay, let's keep moving on. Now we got Aeon's End. Aeon. Is this a Carl Jung reference? You never know. Bro, I'm pretty sure somebody said best song in the album for the last song too. Okay, sick riff. This is a good riff. Cool bass playing here. Mayhem predicted the end of the Boomer Yuga is shit kicking off. I actually think shit is legitimately beginning to kick off, and we're like, we thought shit was crazy. I think shit's about to get really fucking crazy soon here, boys. Yeah, if you guys don't know, an Aeon, it's hard for me to even describe it because I'm such a low IQ midwit about it, but basically it's like what is the guiding constellation that's like true north or something above that. It was last the age of Pisces, and I think we're moving into something else now. Yeah, let me look it up. Let me look it up. Oh, it's a billion years. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Of course, the Gnostics are here again. Bro, the Gnostics. I don't know about them. All right. Getting the big first headbang of the album, boys. All right. A little bit more of like a traditional black metal performance here by Attila here too. I like how there's a lot less mud sort of floating around, right? Not so much reverb and delays and shit like that. Very, very straightforward. Like here is the vocals, here are the riffs. Really liking the song so far again too. El Gnosticism bass. Jesus Christ, bro. These fucking lyrics, man. Burning altars consumed by storm of time. The heads of false saints crumble into dust. The sanctuaries rot beneath the defiled soil. The end unfolds. Where Genesis began now. Damn, bro. Damn. Edgy. Oh, is this a guitar solo? What the hell? I thought they patched out solos in black metal like 10 patches ago. What's going on here? When they buffed black metal? Yeah, it was a good guitar solo too. Ripping. Demo Boger in Dissection said solos are okay in pre-patch alpha. Oh, fuck, man. That's good. That's good shit. Another quite enjoyable song. That one was a lot more aggressive. A little bit less like riff focused than the one before that. Cool little guitar solo. There was still some good riffs, a little bit of groove going on. Like it wasn't so meandering a lot of the riffs, very straightforward. So it allowed you to kind of find your head nodding through all the blast beats. Good, nasty vocals by Attila. And I thought that was pretty good. 7 out of 10.
Look at this graph.
All right, now we got Funeral of Existence. What a title that one is. All creation rots and fate's obscene laughter. No mercy, no order, only chaos remains. Hey, anybody else see the clip of Kid Rock walking up the stage because the crowd wouldn't clap? No?
Stop. If you ain't gonna clap, we gonna sing.
What the hell? What?
Yo, you ain't gonna clap? I'm going.
Common Kid Rock L. Never enough, bro. Kid Rock's true masterpiece. Bro, the vocal production on this, man. Oh my god.
Never enough money in the bank.
What the hell is this vocal production? Okay, anyway, sorry. Give me hearing aids. Oh, fuck. Damn, this new Kid Rock sounds crazy, bro. Disastrous Melodyne usage. Oh, yeah. We only have 4 more songs, including this one. This is a very cursed stream, yeah, for sure. The last 2 songs before this were doing something cool and interesting. This song so far is just like, bro. This exact same riff, these exact same chords over the same blast beat has probably been done hundreds, if not thousands of times at this point. I get like that's the point, you know, but... A bad day to own a church. The next song after this is way better? Okay, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Someone tell them there are other intervals in minor seconds and tritones. I so agree, man. That's like my big problem with black metal, right? They're sort of just stuck in these sort of minor second and tritone movement of these minor chords all over the fretboards. And yes, it sounds evil. Yes, it sounds menacing, but it's been done so many times, right? I want to hear a little bit something different. You know what I mean? One black metal song per week is okay, but I really can't stand to listen to the whole album. I feel that, bro. I feel that. Oh, there you go. Some palm muted, like open string chuggage. I don't know how Immortal does it. Their riffs are just so good. Still black metal, but not like, you know. All right, okay. Funeral of Existence. That's pretty cool. You should have repeated that a little bit more often. I liked Funeral Existence a lot better than, I think, Despair. They were still kind of blasting the whole time, but there was like a little bit of groovage here and there, a little bit of cool leads. Tilla's vocals, again, very cool. Again, I wanted to hear more evil leads, like the guitarist for Mayhem. He writes some really nice evil leads, and they only really played that like right near the end. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. Realm of Endless Misery. Does that take like the medal for most black metal song title ever? Honestly, low-key, this is me every time black metal gets requested on the stream. I get put into the Realm of Endless Mystery. Oh, more blast beats and tremolo picking. Wow. I'm working just playing with this as Tesm Tube. Bro, what in God's name is the Tesm Tube? Don't tell me that's my stream, bro. Okay, all right. Tube amps, you mean? Yeah, that's also true. Are you talking about one of those ones you spin that goes like... We're still listening to this? Okay, all right, this is kind of cool. Bro just did the Frankie McDonald impression. Bass Frankie McDonald, a true Canadian icon and legend. Let's talk about this here. So yeah, we've gone from this sort of tremolo picked, very typical black metal sound to having these sort of big minor chords being played under the slower groove section, which I really think is pretty cool. I'm liking the song a little bit here too. Yo, that bass. Julian is taking me to meet Dave Mustaine. Holy bass. Oh, so you're going with him to the show in Halifax? Is that the one you guys are talking about? By the way, I'm going to be going to the Megadeth show. Might be the last one ever coming. So yeah, hell yeah. Oh, Varvis. Oh yeah, there you go. I got VIP tickets to the Halifax show, meeting the band. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Make sure you take the cheapest guitar you can find, get Dave Mustaine to sign it, and then try to sell it for $1,000 for like a Fender Squire or something. He paid for me. Oh, bass. Let's go. Hell yeah. Should be thanking your boy. Make sure you buy him a beer or something at the show. He's going with his mom. Oh, nice. My mom took me to Megadeth back in the day. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea because I'm kind of running out of things to say here. A couple parts that were cool, but as a whole, the sound just doesn't do anything for me. And there's not any sort of like grand, epic climax to these songs. You know what I mean? They're just sort of the same energy and dynamic the whole time for the most part. Besides the one part of the song in the middle where they kind of really slowed down and had those big pounding toms underneath that riff. That was pretty cool. But other than that, the song and a lot of these songs so far, besides a couple, are just sort of making me feel tired. This is exactly how I feel listening to Mastodon. Honestly, Jeff, low-key, that's the same. Mastodon, there's some cool parts. For the most of it, I just kind of find it's like in one ear, out the other. There's, I don't know. As a diehard black metal guy, I like this for Mayhem album because usually I hate them, but I find this approach of theirs a bit too repetitive. Like they wrote one cool song and then mimicked it. Yeah, bro, that's exactly, that's kind of what I'm feeling. It all sort of seems like it's in the same key, the same chord movements, the same tempo even. It just feels very samey and like you said, repetitive and not in like a cool trance-like way, but in like a very turgid and tiring, fatiguing way for sure. I'm gonna give Realm of Endless Misery a 6 out of 10 too. I thought that was, yeah, a little bit better than Despair, but still not that great.
This is what I have to fucking deal with in this stupid job. Look at this shit.
Next we got Propitious Death. And I actually do not know what the word propitious means. Propitious! Presenting favorable circumstances or showing signs of a favorable outcome. Merciful or kindly. Oh, okay, so it's like a mercy killing, basically. Okay. Or in Canada, we call that medically assisted dying. Medically assisted induced dying or something. Okay. Holy shit, finally a riff. Let's go! Okay. Yo, where was this soul album, bro? Almost having like a little bit of, like I hesitate to say a little bit of death metal influence here, but kind of that's what I'm getting here. Big rumbling, bass drum, kick drums, like the open lower thing. Yeah, and that chug part was sick as hell. This song has my attention. Just write a song with sick riffs. It's just so simple, bro. And now, because you had slower parts in the song, this section with the blast beats really hits and feels very, very intense because of the contrast. This song is really sick. Okay, nice change. The drummer's 56 years old. Hellhammer's, yeah, he's old, but he still rips. He's so good. Oh yeah, I agree, Jose, yeah. Really cool song. I like the riffage there. Kind of at the end, could have taken it or leave it, but like the first half of that song I thought was sick and probably like the best so far on the album, honestly. It's just so simple, man. Just chug the open, palm muted, lowest string on your guitar and it just always sounds good. Really fast. I thought that was excellent, and then you can kind of get away with the more blast beaty, tremolo, more typical black metal stuff later on in the song because you had the contrast from earlier in the song with like the chugging sections and the more kind of like thrash death metal-y sections. I'm gonna give that one 8 out of 10.
This time I'm mistaken for handing you a hard word.
I think again it's that being too artsy at parts that it kind of loses the heaviness or sickness. Yeah, they're kind of like, how can we write this really cool intricate black metal style riff instead of just how can we make the sickest, heaviest, darkest stuff? You know what I mean? Okay, boys, last one in the album. You know what this album needs? This album needed an HM2 pedal right in front of the signal chain of the guitars. That would have set it off. Very, very okay. Okay, cool intro so far. That's a cool riff. Low-key, in this song here, I'm getting big D Mysterious Dawn Satanas vibes here. Just that whole intro, kind of reminiscent of like Freezing Moon here, and the sort of, I don't want to call it like mid-paced, like feel to the double kicks here, but it is at a slower tempo than some of the other stuff, really reminding me of like some of the other stuff on D Mysterious there. Yeah, cool so far. Yeah, I'm liking the song. This album needs 2 stacked metal zones at a practice amp. True. Oh, there's the song title. Interesting. Maybe that was sort of like a chorus. They're almost like teasing kind of a melody, but not really getting there. Very unsatisfactory feeling there. I wish they would like finally like get into like a melodic path, you know, or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. I just remembered I found my old Damage Control solid metal pedal, but it won't work for some reason. Any of good resources for pedal repair? Your best bet, man, is to just go local. I'm sure there's someone near you who works in electronics. So that's the best way to do it. Don't ship it anywhere. Just drive it to some guy, some old boomer, and get him to fix it. Interesting time switch up here. Oh, another solo. There's so many layers of guitars going on here. Like, there must be like 3 or 4 different guitar parts, at least in that whole section there, not even including the solo. This riff here they played in the beginning, so sick. I love this riff. It's so kind of like almost bouncy. Almost feels like the guitarist's like picking hand is like bouncing on the strings. Fucking sick ass riff. Is bro doing some like Mongolian throat singing there? Like pretty sick. Is that bongos? Oh, okay, this is sick. Yo, like tribal black metal. Or anything else, or is that it? That end of that song is pretty sick. I thought this one was actually pretty good too, despite the fact that it was definitely more kind of typical black metal in a lot of senses. There's some really, really cool, interesting riffage going on there. And again, like this sort of like tribal feeling at the end with like throat singing, I think is really cool. And maybe on the next album, they could develop this sort of idea further and take it a little bit further. Like a Black Sepultura or something like that. Yeah, for sure. I've been to Mongolia, drunk the fermented horse milk, and heard the true throat singing. Great, truly great experience. Horse milk, hey? Sure hope it was mare's milk, not the other way around. Gotta say that album exceeded my expectations. To be honest, I think this album kind of met my expectations. Actually, I honestly think this song did some really, really cool stuff. Yeah, I'll give that an 8 out of 10.
What's up, everybody in the house tonight? What's up? What's up?
All in all, Mayhem, Liturgy of Death. I gotta say, this is probably the first new black metal release I've listened to all the way through, I should say, since maybe Immortal All Shall Fall. I thought it was actually decent. I definitely like their other albums better. Obviously, De Mysteriis Dawn Satanis is sort of like untouchable. That's just a true classic, even just like the sound of that album. Chimera was pretty cool. All in all, I enjoyed it a little bit more than I thought I would, but for the most part, I would say this is pretty much exactly what I expected. I don't think I would ever re-listen to this album all the way through, but I probably would definitely listen to Weep for Nothing again, Propitious Death, and The Sentence of Absolution. Although those are all pretty sick songs, the rest definitely fell into that very sort of typical, like tiresome, kind of fatiguing black metal sound that I just personally don't really like. I'm gonna give this whole album like 6 out of 10, but like a high 6 out of 10, you know what I mean? If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Ring that bell for the finest slop delivered right into your eardrums.